I don't like to throw around the term instant classic too often because if you say it too frequently, then it kind of loses all meaning. There's only been a handful of films in the past decade which I feel have earned the title of instant classic. Bridesmaids, Inception, Get Out, these were all films that I thought instant classic as soon as I left the cinema, and I can safely say that Olivia Wilde's freewheeling coming-of-age comedy Booksmart can join that prestigious club. Let's talk about it. Hey up guys, so let's talk about Booksmart. This film has become something of a phenomenon. I first heard about this film about a year ago when I was on Olivia Wilde's IMDb page because I'm a fan of hers ever since she was on House. You guys might recognize her from films like Tron Legacy, or Her, or the god-awful Cowboys and Aliens. And when I found out she was directing a film, I was very excited. But because this was her first time directing a feature film, I thought, oh, it's just going to be a small film. It's unlikely it'll get much traction, and it'll probably only have a small distribution at best. But after this film premiered at the South by Southwest Film Festival, word of this film spread like wildfire. The word-of-mouth hype surrounding Booksmart was overwhelmingly positive, and I could not wait to see this film. Booksmart is a triumph, both for cinema and for women. The script was written by 4 female writers, Susanna Fogel, Emily Halpern, Sarah Haskins, and Katie Silverman, and it's utterly hilarious. I can't remember the last time I consistently laughed out loud this much in a movie like I did with Booksmart. Joke after joke after joke after joke after joke. The film itself is about a female friendship, and the 2 girls in this film are so well written. They are intelligent, inspiring, insecure, they're relentlessly supportive of each other, they are flawed, and they're just fully realized characters played perfectly by Kaitlyn and Beanie Feldstein, one of the best female duos ever committed to film. It's up there with Thelma and Louise. And this film is also directed by a woman. Olivia Wilde has somehow managed to make this generation's Dazed and Confused in her first time directing a feature film. It's almost unbelievable. The plot centers around teenage BFFs Amy and Molly, played by Deva and Feldstein, and they are the class overachievers. They have developed a reputation as all work and no play types. Molly is class president, and she's going to be valedictorian at the graduation, and then she's heading off to Yale University after that. And then Amy is heading off to Columbia University after a summer working in Botswana, helping the local women to make their own tampons. With only one day to go before graduation, they're feeling pretty smug about their accomplishments. That is until Molly learns that her sexually active, irresponsible classmates who have partied their way through the last 4 years of school have also gotten into these prestigious universities which are just as good, if not better, than the ones she got into. Feeling like they've missed out on the fun of the high school experience, Molly and Amy decide to blow off some steam the night before graduation by cramming 4 years worth of partying into one big blowout. As Molly says, I want to experience a seminal anecdote. Woo woo! This night, which sees them hop from one party to the next, is a dizzying, joyous ride full of awkward encounters, embarrassing mishaps, first-time experiences, laughter, life lessons, and love. It's the type of night where the experiences bond you together for life, and it stays with you. It lives in your mind as legendary. I came out of Booksmart overwhelmingly satisfied. This is the type of movie that I will have friends over in the future to have quote-alongs. It's so good. The characters are all so well written. Not just the 2 leads, but all the supporting characters have so many layers to them. Even the more eccentric or obnoxious characters are all given their moments to show their insecurities, which I think was great. This film is also tremendously progressive. One of its 2 leads, Amy, is openly gay and out of the closet, and there's also a bunch of supporting characters whose sexualities are clearly all over the spectrum. But the handling of Amy's sexuality is wonderful because She's not the token gay character, she's a fully realized character. Her sexuality isn't an anecdote, and it's not pandering to the gay audience either. It's just part of who she is, and she's accepted for it. Her parents are religious, but they still love and accept her, and she discusses her sexuality and desires with her BFF Molly, and Molly treats her exactly the same as she would if she was straight. With love and playful teasing. That's real, that's honest, it's what it should be, and this film gets it. I love this film. This film is incredible because it will have a positive ripple effect for all the LGBTQ kids that see it and see that there is a lead gay character who's out of the closet and just loved and accepted. It's so important for queer kids to have films like this where an openly gay character can just be themselves without fear of being persecuted or being ashamed of it. It reassures them that it's okay to be who you are. This film is remarkable. It's got the heart, and it's also got an abundance of laughter. I think part of the reason for Booksmart being so hysterical is that it doesn't just stick to one type of comedy, it likes to play around. There are scenes of like whip-smart observational teenage comedy, and then you've got silly scenes like Amy and Molly dancing outside the car before they go to school. There's one scene with a hallucinogenic drug trip where the girls think they've turned into Barbie dolls. There's also montage scenes where the girls are getting ready for this epic night out and they're packing their little fanny pack full of everything they might need, like an overly prepared Girl Scout. And there's another where they go to the library and do what they do best, their mother effing homework. But there's also some gross out humor, stuff involving vomit, and a mishap with some pornography with one of their peers. There's so many different types of comedy in this that it doesn't allow the film to go stale. And remarkably, it all works. This film is so fresh, original, and has so much spirit. I can see it becoming a quintessential teen film. There are a few famous adult faces amongst the cast, like you've got Jason Sudeikis, who's Olivia Wilde's real-life husband, and then there's Lisa Kudrow and Will Forte, but this film belongs to the kids, and I imagine it's gonna catapult a lot of them into the big leagues because they are all amazing in it. The only negative I have for this film is a minor thing involving Jessica Williams' cool hipsterish teacher, Miss Fine. She hooks up with one of her students at this party, and whilst this doesn't feel out of place for her character, it does feel like it's been shoehorned in, and don't think the film necessarily needed it. That could have been cut out, but it really is just a teeny tiny issue in an otherwise outstanding film. Time to ask those 3 questions. Firstly, will I watch this again? Absolutely. You guys need to watch this film to get that reference, but I loved this movie. It totally lived up to the hype, it surpassed my expectations, and it's so rewatchable because it's so funny. I'm buying this movie on iTunes, adding it to my collection. Second question, do I recommend it for you guys? Absolutely again. Everybody can appreciate this film, guys. It's witty, progressive, tender, and it's the type of film that will integrate itself into pop culture. You would be foolish to miss this film, guys. Go watch it in a cinema whilst you can. Go watch it with an audience. This is the type of film that is better experienced with others. Just go see it, okay? And question number 3, what score do I give it out of 10? You guys already know what I'm gonna give this film. Booksmart obviously gets a 10 out of 10, but I'm gonna say it as well. Booksmart is also a film that you guys have to see before you die. I've given 4 films that classification in the last month. I've got to stop using it, otherwise it's gonna lose all meaning. But Booksmart definitely earns that title of a film you gotta see before you die. It's an instant classic. There we go, guys. That is my review of Booksmart. But remember, this is just one bloke's opinion. I want to hear from you guys. What did you guys think of this film? Did you love it? Do you think it's gonna be an instant classic? What films did it remind you of? My quick question for you guys today is, what is your favorite feature film from an actor turned director? I'm talking Angelina Jolie's, your Bradley Cooper's, Robert Redford's, Jodie Foster's, etc. Whatever you think, be sure to let me know in that comment section down below. If you guys like my channel, want to help me out, please don't forget to click Subscribe if you haven't already. If you liked the video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. And if you want to follow me on any of the social medias like Twitter, Instagram, you can find all that information in that video description down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. For more things related to movies, TV, and popcorn culture, I'm Luke Carefield, and I'll see you next time.